Hey everyone, it's Lauren, Group Exercise Director and Personal Trainer at the Adelaide Club. Today I'm going to take you through about a 10-minute mobility sequence that you can hopefully start to build in your day. It's no sort of secret that we've been sitting way too much, right? Maybe moving less than we did. We're not walking to the GO train, we're not walking through the path. We're at home in tiny condos. And I don't know about you, but I've been hearing that people's necks, upper backs, low backs, they're starting to become more chronic conditions. So these exercises today are going to be targeting poses that are going to be opposite to that sitting posture, okay? So we are going to start with the neck and we're going to work our way down. You will need a chair for a part of the sequence, so do have one handy, okay? So you're going to get into a comfortable position to start off, crossing legs out in front of you, whatever feels good to you. Arms at your side. I want you to take a nice inhale. And as you exhale, I want you to drop your chin down towards your sternum. Let's get a bit of length through the back of the neck here. Trying to breathe, right? The breath, very important. I want you to think about almost like expanding through your stomach as you breathe, and then letting all of the air out. On your next exhale, we're going to start to slide our chin towards that right shoulder. Nice and slow. Kind of checking in with that opposite side of your neck and through that upper trap. Good. Again, breathing at your own pace here. On your next exhale, let's start to drop our chin back to our sternum and move towards that left shoulder there. Good, comparing side to side, pulling your chin back down towards your sternum and to that right shoulder. We're gonna hold there for a second. And what I want you to do is start to push your opposite hand away from you. You can start to flex through that wrist. And then you can start to pull your fingertips forward and backwards. So as you're sort of moving through the wrist here, you might start to feel some sensations down the arm, right? We're breathing here. You can even try playing around with looking up towards the ceiling and then back down towards your shoulder and getting into that left side. Good, few more here. Good, last one. Bring that head back down, slowly dropping your chin back to your sternum and to the opposite side there. I want you to start to move that hand away from you, your right hand, and then starting to flex through that wrist and start to bring your fingertips forwards and backwards. See how that feels on that right side. I always like to compare right versus left. And then again, you can start to move that chin sort of on an angle up towards the ceiling and then back down, whatever feels good to you. Back down, good. Last one here, look up towards the ceiling on that angle, pull back and then drop your chin slowly back towards your sternum. Roll it up. Good. We're going to grab that chair. We're going to get into that mid back, right? As we sit, we tend to sit a little more in that flex posture. Mid back can get a bit locked. So we can kneel here. I want your elbows at the edge of your chair. You can also use a couch for this. Pull your knees backwards. Start to pull your hips towards your heels. And you're going to try and sink your chest down, okay? So elbows can be up, or you can play around with it. If it feels a little bit more comfortable to have straight arms, that's fine too. Work into that. Take a nice inhale. We're going to focus on our breathing here. As you exhale, I want you to think about dropping that chest down and forward. On your inhale, you might even find that you start to round through your back a little bit, shoulder blades sort of push apart, and as you exhale, start to drop down. So really working with your breath here. Trying to find that end range. And again, you can play around with elbows up or hands down. See how that feels. Head might even start to drop a little bit lower below the chair. And then as you're getting more range here, I want you to start to add a little bit of tension. So you're going to start to push your elbows down into the chair at your end range. And you'll feel maybe a little bit more tension through that upper back. Hold for 10. Good. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly coming up. We're still going to spend a little more time on that mid part of your spine back there. So we're going to get into a quadruped position. Hands will be stacked under the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. We're going to work within the shoulder blades, okay? So neutral spine, we've got just a soft curve. Our ribs are pulled away from the ground and our shoulders are pulled down away from our ears. I want you to think about a pencil between your blades here. You're going to lock your arms out and you're going to pull your shoulder blades together without bending through the elbows, okay? So keep the elbows locked. And then I want you to think about pushing the shoulder blades apart. So getting into that protraction. Good, nice inhale, you'll pull your shoulder blades together. We're going to try and keep our spine neutral so we're not letting excessive arch happen through our low back. We're keeping this just through the shoulder blades, through that mid back, little pause, push the ground away there. A few more here, right? Sometimes those shoulder blades can get a bit locked as well. Using that breath. Good, let's do 2 more and then we're going to get into a rotation. Last one. And back, come back to neutral there. Let's pull our hips back a little bit more if that feels good to you. And we're going to thread the needles. We're going to take our right hand underneath our left armpit, reaching under. So trying to get almost the back of that shoulder towards the ground. And then you're going to rotate up, follow the hand around. Not cheating with the hips, trying to keep the hips forward. Reaching down, little pause. Feel them stretch in the back of the shoulder and then follow that hand around there, that rotation. A few more here. And up. Let's do 2 more, reaching. You can drop down on that opposite elbow. Last one here. And then rotate, follow that around with the gaze. Hold there. Try to find that range. If you had a logo on your shirt, that's what I want you to think about moving, not just your arm. Hold for 5, 3, 2, and 1. Let's switch to the other side and always comparing right to left. So we're going to thread the needle left hand under the right armpit. You can pull your hips back and then start to pull up towards the ceiling, rotate. Same thing, reaching. Now, as you're doing this, does one side feel a little more fluid than the other? Or does it feel more of a struggle? You feel more of a restriction on one side versus the other? Reaching underneath, again, trying to get the back of that shoulder. That's sort of the aim towards the ground and then reaching away. We've got 2 more here. Follow the hand around with your gaze. Look at that thumb. Last one. And hold this one up. Keep your hips forward. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rest. Let's move down to the hips. Okay, we're going to get into that 90-90 position. So you may move forward with this. So you can start a little bit further back. So a little bit of a regression is you'll have your hands on the ground, feet a little bit wider, toes up, and we're basically going to be dropping into that 90-degree angle with both of our legs. Okay. So option 1 is to keep the hands on the ground. Option 2, a little bit harder, is going to be up. And then option 3 is you're really going to try to do one at a time. So you start to move one leg, then the other leg follows. and trying to get into this 90 degrees. So just use this as a bit of a check-in, side to side, and make sure we're about 90 degrees with those legs. Pull the heel a little closer to you, depending on how much mobility you have in that front hip. Good, let's do 2 and 1. We're gonna hold in a 90-90 position here, okay? So one leg is forward, one leg is back. And again, adjust this leg as you need. And also if you feel like you're really leaning here, like you can't get here, place a pillow. We wanna be sort of upright here, okay? We're gonna frame that front knee. I want you to dorsiflex both ankles. Nice inhale, you're gonna drop your chest down towards your front knee. And then I want you to think about lifting up through that upper back. So you might feel that stretch through that outer hip. Exhale, reach, lift through that upper back, one vertebrae at a time. Dropping down. Let's do one more. We're gonna hold down at the bottom. Hold there, widen through the hands. And I want you to start to slide your chest down towards your heel. Good, and then coming back here. So just remembering how far you went versus the other side when we do it. Sometimes you'll get restrictions through that QL, through the hip, etc. Let's do 2 more here. Reach 2. Good. Last one. Pull towards the heel. Pull back towards the knee and start to roll up. We're going to switch to that opposite side, okay? So find that 90-90 position that feels good to you. Again, if you are really leaning, just grab foam roller, block, hold yourself up here. Frame that front knee for me. Take a nice inhale. Exhale, let's start to drop our chest down towards the knee. Let's pull up with that upper back. I'm just saying, do you feel anything different on this side? I feel that outer sort of hip, glute, front of that hip. And up. Let's do 2 more there. And up, remembering to breathe. Last one, we're gonna hold down. Let's widen those hands to bring them a little bit outside of that foot, and you're gonna start to slide your chest down towards your heel and back. So as you're doing this, do you feel anything different from the first side? And if you do, like maybe if you feel more of a restriction on one side, is that the same side that you're having a nagging low back pain on, right? It's trying to sort of deduce all of these things, left and right, and what they all mean, right? Is it weak, is it tight, etc. Good, 2 more there. Good. Last one, reach and back, and then roll back up. One thing I want to test is we're going to do 1 more on each side, but we're going to do a little bit differently, okay? So coming back to that first side, let's start to think about that back leg, a little bit of internal rotation. So I want us to sit up nice and tall. You can slightly lean forward, you have your hands there. I want you to take a nice inhale. As you exhale, can you start to push down, creating some tension through your abs, creating some tension through your upper body. And then what I want you to do is start to lift that back heel off the ground towards the ceiling. That's your internal rotation for the hip. You're gonna hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, relax. Do that again, we're gonna do 3 of those. Take a nice inhale. As you exhale, can you push down, creating some tension through your abs, through the upper body, then start to pull that heel towards the ceiling. Good. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. I'm gonna do 1 more on that side. Take a nice inhale. You might feel a little bit of cramping through that outer glute. That is okay. Nice exhale. Push down, start to pull heel towards your ceiling. Hold there, hold there. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest. Good. We got to do the opposite side, always comparing right to left. So if you're getting a lot of cramping, that is okay. You just may not have the strength to hold that range just yet. So try to drop it maybe a little and see if that helps. Let's find our 90-90 position. Frame that front knee. Take a nice deep breath. push into the ground, creating that tension. Start to lift that back leg up, that back heel. Think about the hip here, that internal rotation. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Good, shake it out. 2 more like that. Nice inhale. Exhale, push down, create that tension through abs. Lift up. Good. 3, 2, 1, and rest. Last one here, nice inhale. Push down, create that tension, start to pull your heel towards the ceiling. Internal rotation through that hip. Good. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest. Good, shake that out. We're gonna finish off in a glute bridge, one of a great sort of opposite positions to our daily sitting. So we're gonna get onto our back here in supine. We're gonna draw our ribs down. So just watch that we're not lifting with our back. Little tailbone tuck ribs. So we should have a little bit of engagement through the abs here. You're gonna drive through your heels. You're gonna lift up into full hip extension. Watch we're not hyperextending through the back. But we should be able to get full lockout with those hips. I want you to hold there, slightly push your knees out and push into those heels. So again, a little bit of that tailbone tilt, a little bit of that posterior tilt with your pelvis. We're gonna hold there for about 10 seconds. I want you to see, what do you feel here? Pull the shoulder blades underneath you. Good, we're gonna hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's drop back down, just a little love tap, and then right back up here. All right, so we're lengthening out what we are usually shortening in our seated position. Slightly push your knees out, lengthen through the quads a little bit. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's do one more there. Nice inhale. Ribs are down, little tilt, lift up and hold, full lockout with the hips. Good, hold for 10. Tuck your chin a little bit, kind of press your head into the ground. Get a little length through the back of the neck. We want to get those glutes going. Good, hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. You are done, team. Nice work today. That was about 10 minutes. It's all you need. Great to counteract all that sitting. And if you continually do it, it can only be more beneficial. Thanks so much for joining me, and we'll see you next time.